she sent her mom one last text. 2 words, then silence. 5 days later, her car turns up abandoned with the keys still inside. But it's what police find in her ex's bathtub drain that turns this missing person case into something much darker. And the security footage from that night, it shows exactly where the evidence ended up. On January 2nd, 2025, 30-year-old Ashley Elkins left her home in Warren, Michigan, to run errands, leaving her 2 young sons with her sister. She stopped at a 7-Eleven that morning and exchanged routine texts with her mother, Monica. Just after 9 o'clock, those messages stopped. When Monica texted about a strange dream she'd had, the reply she received felt oddly clipped. After that, silence. Attempts to reach Ashley by phone and in person failed. A later text claimed she was headed to a beauty supply store, but soon after, her phone powered off entirely, and no one heard from her again. Ashley's sister used a phone tracking app and found her last known location, an apartment on Pinehurst Street in Roseville, belonging to her ex-boyfriend, DeAndre Booker. The two had dated for roughly a year before splitting the previous September, and Ashley had since kept her distance, ignoring his calls. In the weeks before she vanished, she told relatives she believed he was following her. Days earlier, he had booked a fake hair appointment just to get inside her home. She quietly recognized him and stayed silent until he left. 2 days later, she disappeared without a trace. 5 days after Ashley went missing, her silver Malibu was found abandoned in a parking lot several miles from Booker's apartment, keys left behind on the seat. Her family, growing desperate, had already visited his building the night she disappeared, finding no one home and no sign of her car. The abandoned vehicle, keys included, was an unsettling detail investigators couldn't ignore. It suggested Ashley hadn't simply driven off on her own. As search efforts expanded, attention turned back toward Booker's apartment, where police would soon uncover something far more troubling than an empty parking space. 2 days after Ashley disappeared, Booker called police himself, claiming his apartment had been broken into. Officers arrived to find the door ajar and let themselves inside. What they found didn't resemble a robbery. Valuables sat untouched, but the apartment reeked of bleach. A pair of rubber gloves lay discarded on the couch. In the bathroom, 2 bleach bottles sat out. The shower curtain was missing, and small blood-flecked debris lingered near the drain. Spatter marks stretched across the tile, the hallway, and a closet door. Forming a picture investigators would spend the next several days piecing together. Forensic examination confirmed the apartment had been the scene of something violent. Luminol testing revealed extensive cleaning in the bathroom and hallway. Plumbers dismantling the bathtub drain recovered a bullet fragment, a single earring, and strands of hair. A handgun registered to Booker was found hidden beneath the couch. Combined with the missing shower curtain and bleach-soaked surfaces, the evidence pointed to one devastating conclusion. Ashley Elkins had entered that apartment alive and had not left it that way. Investigators now needed to determine exactly what had happened and where her body had gone. A parking lot camera outside Booker's building had recorded the entire day. That afternoon, it captured Ashley arriving, and later, 2 figures walking toward her parked car, one resembling Booker, the other an unidentified woman wearing different clothes than Ashley had that morning. The woman drove the car away, and it never returned. Investigators couldn't yet explain who she was. As night fell, the same camera recorded Booker making repeated trips to nearby dumpsters, carrying bags and boxes for hours, building a timeline that would ultimately turn the footage into some of the most critical evidence in the case. The most damning footage came just before 5 the next morning, when Booker was seen pushing a shopping cart carrying something heavy. He struggled to lift the object into a dumpster, succeeding only after several attempts, then lingered at the site for nearly 5 minutes. By the time investigators recovered the footage, the trash had already been collected and hauled to a landfill. Officers traced its path and launched a 5-day search across a targeted section of the site, using dozens of agencies to sift through the waste. Despite their efforts, No remains were recovered from the search. Though the landfill search came up empty, other evidence spoke clearly. Blood recovered from the dumpster and throughout Booker's apartment matched Ashley Elkins. His early statements to police, that she'd left willingly in her own clothes and car, were quickly disproven. He was arrested first for lying to officers while the larger case was built, then tracked to a girlfriend's home in Flint using phone data and surveillance footage. There, police found clothing matching what the figure in the dumpster footage had worn, along with search history revealing chilling premeditation in the days before Ashley disappeared. Booker's phone revealed searches for a firearm silencer and the phrase, "murder out of rage," days before his fake hair appointment. After being turned away from Ashley's home, he searched whether police could track a phone that had been powered off, and what happens to trash once it's collected. In the days following her disappearance, his searches turned toward avoiding capture. What to do while on the run, how to beat a polygraph, and how to erase his own search history. As his case moved toward trial, his courtroom behavior became increasingly erratic, refusing to sit or dress for hearings. The mystery woman from the surveillance footage was eventually identified as Booker's niece, Payne Barksdale, who testified she had unknowingly helped move Ashley's car, believing she was doing her uncle a simple favor. She was cleared of involvement. As of now, Ashley Elkins' remains have not been recovered, and her case against Booker remains in the pre-trial process. Her 2 sons are left to grow up without their mother, while her family continues to wait for the answers the landfill search couldn't provide, and for the trial that will decide what justice looks like here.